issues related to finance and economics. He is the CEO of Daylex Finance Limited, a non-bank financial institution. Under his leadership, Daylex Finance Limited won the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana Non-Bank Financial Institution of the Year Award in 2014. Thank you.
I'm going to introduce our next panelist. That is Gisela. She's a multi-award winning broadcast journalist working with the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. She's a practicing journalist with 16 years experience. She has risen through the ranks to become an editor at the GBC. Beatrice has won many enviable awards, including the Journalist of the Year. She's an entrepreneur and also the founder of Small World Foundation and Mental Care Foundation, both non-governmental organizations. Through her foundations, she has touched lives and inspired many lives through several mentorships and skill training programs. Shall I please welcome our panelists?
And our next panelist is going to be Reverend Dr. Samuel Mensah, who is here with us. He's a fellow at Institute of Chartered Economics of Ghana, a lecturer at Wisconsin, Executive Director of Center for Greater Impact Africa, President Bishop of Christ White House Chapel, Technical Advisor to the Ministry of Trade and Industry of the African Continental Free Trade. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Reverend.
Thank you very much. And let's come to Ghana English. So that we can all appreciate our made in Ghana. Please, let's appreciate our distinguished panelists. It's not easy to pull some of them on a Saturday afternoon like this to come over here. But for the love they have for all of you, they decided to put on hold all their programs and to be here. Mr. Ken Thompson, Senna, and Red. Saturday afternoons are the days that they prepare their messages for Sunday. But he's here. So we thank God. But I want to ask you some few questions. What are you holding in your hand? As a student, as a worker, what are you holding in your hand? Do you know what you are holding in your hand? God asked Moses the same question. What are you holding in your hand? And you know, there are different versions of the Bible. Some describe what he was holding as a staff. Other versions said a walking stick. Others said a shepherd's staff. And our lovely King James says a rod. And they all mean different things. I believe all of you have mobile phones, right? You have mobile phones. How do you look at your mobile phones? What is it for you? Is it just a device to receive calls and send text messages and then WhatsApp and chat on social media? or it's a device for economists and accountants and business people. They look at mobile phones as what? A working tool, a money-making machine. And you are holding your mobile phone as just a WhatsApp device, and you use it. And most of you have the latest device, mobile phones in the world, and you are using it. What do you have in your hand? You must place a value in what you have in your hand. What is the value of what you have in your hand? As a student, what are you holding? What value have you placed on it? If I should ask any of you to go down there and ask the price of a bottle of Coke, you will be surprised the price they will give it to you. It will definitely be around 10 cedis or more. But it's still a bottle of Coke. But because you are buying it at Airport View Hotel, they have placed a value on it. So the value is gone high. You go out there by the traffic light, you get a bottle of Coke at 2 cedis. I'm not too carried, so 5 cedis. Okay, then here it will be more than 10 cedis. So please, we need to look at what we have. TEI is also helping to give you value for what? Your life. Sometimes, when we look at certain things that comes to us free of charge, free, we devalue it. Oh, okay, oh, okay. If you were asked to pay for a seat here to attend this meeting, and it is for 2 hours, 1 or 2 o'clock to 3, 5, 4 o'clock thereabout, you would have been here on time because you know you have paid for the hours. And the hotel would have insisted that until you have rented this place for 2 hours, 2 hours they sack you. That is the value of what we have. We all have the same time. Well, those in where do you come from? I want you to pronounce that name. Those who come from there and those of us here, we all have the same time, 24 hours. That is what God gave to us. But how are we using our 24 hours? That is the value of what we have in our hand. So please, as up and coming leaders of this country, let's appreciate what we have. And the greatest commodity that we have is time. We are misusing time. We are misusing time. I get to my office at 7:30, and my staff gets there almost all the time, late. And in public service, sometimes it's difficult to discipline. Because as soon as you begin to do it, they begin to misinterpret your actions. But I still discipline. Because me, your boss, should not get to the office 7:30 for you to come at 9. No way. No, I won't accept it. One of my own relatives wanted to do national service at my office. He stayed there for, I think, about a month. He couldn't. Because he was trying to behave that because it's his brother or uncle, he can come to work at any time. And at the end of it, I sacked him. It has become a family issue, but I am happy I took that disciplinary measure. We would have destroyed other workers in my office. So let's appreciate what we have today. Begin to analyze whatever you have in your hand and see how you can use it for the benefit, for your own benefit first, and for society's benefit. Your parents, your mentors are paying for your life. They are investing in you. So if you don't appreciate it, financial terms, it will depreciate. Yes, accounts people, it will depreciate. And as soon as it depreciates, it loses its value. So when they want to assess something, they will come and assess this facility. Definitely they will depreciate the value of this building, and then they can sell it at a lower price. So if you depreciate your own value, they will buy you at a lower price. On that note, I thank you all for coming, and I want to move on straight to my panel members and ask from Mr. Ken Thompson. He was here on time, very, very on time, because he's a businessman and time is money. He doesn't joke with his time. Mr. Ken Thompson, please open us up into your life. I have been told that you were born with a golden spoon in your mouth. Is that true? Mr. Ken Thompson, who are you? Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. But before I start, there's a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. Who's read it? Mindset. Mindset, Carol Dweck. Nobody? I think it's a book that Sylvia should read. It talks about the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And actually, since I read the book a few years ago, I have a presentation for mindset. It's a good book. If you don't like Carol Dweck, all of you should read it. I don't think I have I'm a lactation baby. Yes, so I don't think, those of you here don't remember lactation. But I'm a lactation baby. So far, I still hold the record for the heaviest child born in Holy Ghost. I hold the record. And I mean, I grew up with Maria Lafonte, I grew up with Ray Charles, and am I supposed to hold the children? Yes, please. It's okay. As long as I have clarity on what I'm supposed to do.
But this one has moved. It's only to the
Oh, okay.
But as I grew up, I saw my parents becoming poor. I actually saw poverty. I've seen poverty. And by the time I got to Form 1, I could see that life was changing. Life really changed drastically. To a point where, by the time I did O levels and A levels, the only game in town was that as soon as you finish school, you're going to leave the country. I mean, I've seen poverty. I've seen poverty right in my eyes. And I finished my exams on 23rd of June. I left Ghana on 24th of June, which was my birthday. And I sat on the plane and said, this country, I'll never come back. And maybe we've been to, a lot of you are not old enough, but the history is there. We've been through 81, 79 first, shortages, fuel, people were being beaten, in school we're eating. We literally had to use stones to smash yellow corn. The American government then gave us aid, and we used stones to smash the yellow corn, boiled to eat. It was a disaster. So I left as this country, and everybody was leaving. People actually started leaving from the center.
2 minutes. So I will hold you onto this country. I will never come back. Then we'll move to Senna. This country, I will never come back. Please take note.
I'm happy to see you all, and I thank you for the opportunity, and I thank everyone here who made it for this program. For me, anyway, I'm also a June born. Okay, so it's been a tough, meandering journey, but it's been quite fulfilling. I wasn't born with a golden spoon, as you started by saying. I have seen hardship. The reason I work hard to make sure other young people, other young girls do not go through what I went through. The realities of life is there. You cannot jump the gun. You cannot jump it. You have to go through it. For me, when I was born, well, everything was going on well until I think when I completed GSS then, and my colleagues were in school. I have to be at home because my father lost his job then, and I have to stay back for 2 years, and then my colleagues were in their final year. My father was like, okay, so since there's no money, you have to start a trade, like learn how to sew. You know, I'm like, are you kidding me? It's not like sewing was bad, but for me, I knew my purpose. The most important thing, I knew I would be a journalist right from the word go. So I started working towards it. Even when I was not in school and my colleagues were in school, I was reading. I was reading a lot of books, English related. Maths is not my friend. So I was reading a lot of books so that if I get the opportunity to go back to school, I'll be able to catch up. Okay, so now I realized that if I don't take care, then the sewing business will come to pass. So I started trading by myself. I started selling. So I learned how to do ice creams. I learned how to do petty stuff. I was selling ice water then and all that. But people see me, they think that I'm better than me. I am not. I've sold all those things. After selling, I'll go and support my mom at the market and seek the money. And fast forward 2 years, I got the money and I started searching for school. In fact, the school that I wanted, that I got, I didn't get it any longer because they said I've stayed home for a long time and I cannot catch up. So now I have to search for another school, which I got. And the course that I wanted to do, general arts, I didn't get it. They gave me business, which I said earlier, my maths wasn't good. But then I was determined, no matter where you find yourself, you should be able to break through. You should be able to break forth. Everything starts with you. Nobody can do anything for you if you don't take the step. So you first must take a step. You should know what you want and work towards it. So now when I started reading the ones that I know I was bad with, like the mathematics, the business management, and believe you me, I was getting A's in them. I got A's in them because I realized that if I don't do it, I will end up to be a school dropout. And there's nobody. Then it means that the ones, my younger sister will also suffer the same thing. But glory be to God, I've risen through the ranks. I started journalism. I did radio for 4 years before I entered into television, because television was what I wanted to do, and I've achieved that. But aside that, I have been doing so many things. So from all indication, life will hit at you. You have to pick the pieces up. It doesn't matter where you find yourself. If you were born in the gutters, you should be a change agent. It doesn't matter who your parents are. It is about you, how you are going to make a name to change your parents' status. That is what is important. So for me, I would say that my journey, I just have to summarize it because of time, but then it's been fulfilling.
Good. On that point of change agents, we move to Reverend. I don't know whether there was a red carpet that was laid down for you, and there was a fanfare. Reverend is born, Samuel. So, Rev, tell about your story.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I first of all thank God for this great platform. She's Thompson here. Most of us have just heard of him, but this is a man who I've trained him for 5 good years in life to become who I am today. I'm very much grateful, Chief. I worked under him in Village Finance from 2008 to 2012 in Accra office as a credits officer, and he has inspired me. The reason why I'm saying that is I'm the only worker outside the head office that he calls directly into his office. He sends him. He doesn't know me from anywhere, but he can just place a call that he wants to see. When I go, he call me Captain. How are you? I'm a young guy, but I like the way you are. And he started with his own lifestyle. Sometimes I get confused. I said, this big man, what is he coming? Maybe he wanted to sack me. But he continued to inspire me. And today I'm so happy. I'm very, very, very much happy to be with him today. Mr. Francis, every 2 weeks we had a media engagement. I'm an economist. Last 2 years I won the award as the best economist in Ghana. And every 2 weeks there is a conference with Ghana News Agency, which they engage me every 2 weeks at the Tema Regional Office. And so I've been working with him for the past 4 years. And most of the laudable policies and programs that the government roll out these days were most of the times from our end. And so he has been a father to me, and we also came from the same district, and I salute you. As for Madam, I barely knows her, but then I believe I'm a resource person to GTV and Radio Ghana. Even yesterday I spoke up behind the news, evening news across the country on the strikes on the side of the TUC. So I believe that these are all my compatriots. As we have indicated, I'm someone, I was born some few years ago. And my father was a farmer, and my mother a people's teacher. So I went to school, and when we get to class 6, in a village, I wasn't having any city education at all. And so when we got to class 6, I was a prefect. And so one day the head teacher came and said, today, if you are not able to give a good answer, I will lash all of you. You need to get up and tell me exactly what you want to be in future. So we barely understand what this teacher was saying. So we started, and it gets right there. I said, I want to be a banker, I want to be a bishop, and I want to be a president. He said, nonsense. I said, tell me just one thing you want to be in the future. I said, these are the things that have inspired me. I want to be a banker, and I want to be a bishop, and I want to be a president of Ghana. It's like he's annoyed, and so he gave me 3 lashes. But I took it in good faith that I was still focused on those things that I said. And so over the years, I've realized after BEC, it was tough for me going to senior high school. So initially there was no money, so I was asked to go and learn plumbing. I'm not saying the artisanal works are not good as a plumber, because I passed very well. I did very well in the district level. Most of the district competitions, I was always best in mathematics and subjects like that. But we were very poor. So life became very unbearable for me. Going to senior high school, somebody needs to help. So I was a day student. I went to Awudeme Senior High School in Chito in the Volta region. So life was quite difficult. Weekends I need to go and do what you call jobs, where we people's farm, so that Monday to Friday I'll be able to survive in school. So we started like that. After completing school around 1999-2000, I came to Accra for the first time, 2001, February 10th. I came to Accra. The whole place was looking so nice. And the one who brought me drove along, I think, Ringway Estate and all those places. I was asking whether they would be able to locate the road back to the house. So I was a bit confused about the life. But as time goes on, I forced and I put myself in school. So I went to Accra Polytechnic, so I studied HND accounting. And so I enrolled as an evening student, because daytime I need to go and do laboring work. And in the evening I need to rush back to. So I was assisting painters, carpenters, masons, doing laboring work and going to school in the evening. And after that I said, no, if people are ascending, then I also need to ascend. So I said, oh, I want a degree. So I went to Kivas to do bachelor degree in commerce, BCom. And after Kivas, I said, no, I also want to have a master's degree. So I went to Tech to read development studies and leadership. So I said, no, I don't know the reason why some people should be called doctors and professors. I can't be like this, so I want to be a doctor and professor. So I went back to Kivas and studied development economics, PhD. And as I was doing that, I was also writing the professional exam for being a chartered economist. And so that was also successful. 2004, I started a ministry, and as at now, it has branches, even 2 branches outside the country.
We will hold on to the ministry aspect and we'll come back to that later.
Exactly.
So we'll move back to Senna. You see, one thing that has come out is that almost all of them did not start on a flower journey. So if you are going through any difficulties now, don't think that it should move you backwards. No, it should rather encourage you to move up, to press on. They press on, that is why today they are here in front of you. Life is not that easy. So how did you end up at GBC?
Okay, so I started my career journey in Kumasi. I was with Ahilima Radio then, and now I think it's Freedom FM. Then I moved from there to Capital Radio, the sister station for City, and I was also there for 2 years. And I'm like, I realized that I realized something when I was in Kumasi. I realized they took advantage of a lot of people, like young journalists. I mean, they are not being paid well and all that. And I also realized that I have a purpose. There was something that was a burning desire. I wanted something more. So I decided to come back to Accra. And when I came, I went to my mother's hometown in Pampram. So I started writing letters upon letters. I went to TV Africa, I went to TV3, and the moment you are a woman and you're looking for a job, some people, especially the men, would want to take advantage of you in one of the stations, and I'm like, hell no. I didn't suffer to come for you to do this, to take advantage of me. So I declined, and I was still searching. So I wrote my letter, I took it to GBC, and at the time, they were like, if you don't do anybody, you will not be employed. And this is me coming from Pram, and I don't know how to explain, but sometimes even getting money to get to Accra wasn't easy. It was my cousin, in fact he was even younger, who was who was a mechanic, and he was okay, he had money. So when I'm going and I'm short of money, he will give me something for transport. I'll come to BBC, and I was moving, I think I get here around 5 a.m. Before the workers will even come, to wait, because I just wanted to work there. And I didn't know the Director General then, so they will come and pass by. I've already submitted my letter, not knowing the letter was even thrown somewhere. But everywhere I go, I have a copy of my letter and my CV, and also a CD that has my presentations and all the news presentations. So I was ready. So I was sitting there, and a man came and was like, "Young lady, I've been seeing you for almost a month. Who are you looking for?" And I said, "I'm looking for the Director General." He said, "I am." I said, "Okay, what's the problem?" I said, "I brought my letter, and I've been waiting for them to call me, but no call has been coming, so I have to follow up." So that's why every day he come here and said yes. So he said, "Let's go." He asked my name, he asked of my name, they searched through the letters, my letter was not back. And the lady that was seated there was the same person I gave my letter to. So I was surprised where my letter was, and she was looking at me, and I was also looking. I just said, "Don't worry, please, I have the copy." So I gave the copy to him. Then he said, "Wow, you can speak Hausa, you can speak this, you can speak this." I said, "Yes, I can speak a lot of languages." Then he said, "Okay, so let's see what you have. What can you do?" Then I gave them the CD, and they watched it. They said, "Okay, I can see a potential. So you go and come back in a week." So I went, and I have to do all my prayers, because I pray like nothing. And someone here knows me very well. He knows me that I don't joke with my God, and I don't joke with my prayers. I can pray all day. Wow. So when I go to the house, we were closer to the sea. My mother's house is closer to the sea, so I'll always go there alone, because I didn't want to be disturbed. At that time, I was depressed, because searching for a job is no joke. I was so depressed, and I was frustrated. So I didn't have a lot of friends, and my friend was only good. So sometimes I would go to the sea to have a me time and pray. So I'll be praying, because when I'm in the house, my auntie will come, "Why are you quiet? And hope is not lost." You know, all that, and it makes me sad. So I would just move out of the house, go and have a me time, talk to God and all that. I told God that, "God, if you don't fix me there, I don't know where I will be, so fix me." So I was there, I went back, I didn't meet the man. I went back home, I came, like it's been like that for a month. Then I went again, then he said, "Okay, so let's have an interview." Then the people came, a panel of gentlemen, about 10 of them. This person will ask this person, will ask this person. But long and short of it is that after being persistent and consistent and serious, I was offered the opportunity to be a reporter there at GBC in 2010. So this is my 13th year in GBC.
Thank you very much. Hold on there. I like the story. Never give up. Never give up. But she added something. Be consistent and persistent. Never give up. So the application letters, you must always be ready. Someone brought a letter just last Friday, and I always have a red pencil on my desk there. So I took the red pen, went through the application letter, and almost everything was circled. So I handed the application letter back to the person and go through. If you are in my shoes, do you employ the person based on this red ends? Please take your time to prepare your document. Some of you will rush through. Your documents are not ready to be presented. The letter was not even signed. How can you send an application letter unsigned? Wow. And you are looking for a job. So this is how you are. But Mr. Ken Thompson said, this country, I will never come back. And you are here. What happened?
First, let's not depress ourselves. It's a beautiful world.
Yeah, that's right.
It's an absolute beautiful world. And for you, the best of it all is that you're young. You're young. You can do whatever you want to do. If there's one advice, I won't know that I know we're coming back to different things, but if there's one thing I wish I had was an opportunity for someone to have set up an organization like this and to implement it. There's nothing you are doing that has never been done before. There's absolutely nothing. I wish when I was your age, somebody had spoken to me. That's not why there's absolutely nothing. The world is about 7.5 billion people. This conversation, as we speak, about 500 million people are having this same conversation. I mean, I'm back. I'm glad I came back. The things I know now that I wish I known then. Have a mentor for everything. A mentor for how you brush your teeth. A mentor for when to wake up. A mentor for how you dress. A mentor for how you chat up women. A mentor for when you don't like them and what you do. It's all there. So that's why I'm back. And if there's one thing I wish I had some more of, it's mentorship. That's all it is. And some societies have built mentorship into their lifestyles. We haven't got to that bit yet. But you have your phone. I mean, people come to me in the office, they ask me a question, I give an answer, they say, wow, this man is sharp. Are you sure? As you're talking, I'm on Google. I mean, are you sure? It's all there. It's all there. And, you know, you've got to learn to hustle from a very early age. And hustle is not negative. It's not negative. What she did was hustling. She was lucky, Sarah was lucky because she had within herself. But I can assure you that out of every million people born, probably none of them has that in them. All of us learn from somebody. I mean, go out and do something for yourself.
Yes. So how long were you out there?
Well, I was in England, you know. First, I don't believe in luck. There's nothing called luck. The harder you work, the luckier you become. There's nothing called luck. So I happened to be in England at the time of globalization, and these firms were, you know, to get to the chartered accounting firm, it's hard. Because in any case, they're making the cream of their people who can get to what you see out. But at that time, globalization was taking place. So they believed that if they got foreign students, foreign people, they'll be able to expand their business. And then they started taking on Asians, and then they took on some black people, and that's how they just kept on opportunity as well. You know, so I was away for 15 years, and then eventually I said, you know, I can't do this because I can't see where my career is going, so I've got to come back. And everybody, including my mother, said, don't come back. We have done it differently. I thought I'd still come back. But the world is a much bigger place now. So take advantage of whatever opportunity you have, wherever you are in the world, and be somebody. You know, so I came back. Dilex Finance makes me very proud, especially for all the young people that we employ. I can assure you that when I was your age, I I never ever dreamed that would happen. Never. It didn't even cross my mind. But when I look back now, it's just you have to. I know one person always looking for how to progress. And as you go along and you make mistakes, you learn, you make mistakes, you learn, there's success, you make mistakes, you learn. So go and conquer the world. If someone said one day you have a company that will employ 3,000 people directly and indirectly, I say you were a joke. What are you talking about? The advantage you have is that you have information. Use it. Somebody has set up this thing for you. I mean, I'm surprised that most of you were late. I'm thinking, okay, I don't blame you. You've not been told that you want to learn to do these things. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But today is an opportunity. Take advantage of it. Yeah, it's not. I mean, someone was reading the Bibles. You know, I'm a stickler for things being done the right way. Only because of an accountant. The accountant, you can't go and do this. If you're reading a Bible, you can't read what I say, my friend. What's wrong with you? That means she hadn't read it. And that's a basic principle. I'm pointing out, not because I'm criticizing, but you learn from it. Unless you do these things, next thing you know, she'll be president. And these are the building blocks. She was old enough to come and do it.
That's right.
Yes. These are the building blocks. For me, you guys, you really don't have an excuse. There's so much information out there. Like those things, people bring in their CVs, and they have mistakes. I say, but why does your CV have a mistake? Why? They do a cover letter, and your name is spelled wrong. I say, but why? What's wrong with you? But it doesn't matter. At least you did the cover letter and learn from it. That's the most important thing. And keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. Because all over the world, the people that you admire that succeed, that is what they do. They don't stop.
Thank you very much. Learning. Right. Perfect.
There's a microphone.
So you take this one. Your microphone. Reverend, how did you move from the academic field into the business or professional field? Your working life.
Well, it was very interesting. As I stated from primary 6, I said I wanted to be 3 things, which I had 3 lashes. I still maintain focus. And so I want to be a banker, a bishop, or a reverend minister, and also a president of Ghana. And I took 3 lashes for that. But I was determined. The whole thing started this way. When I had a job at Business Finance, Chief Thompson sent for me like on 7 different occasions. He doesn't know me from anywhere. But then I started as a sales executive, and I was stopping almost every 6 months. The whole country. Be the best sales officer in terms of the volume of works and productivity. So I was doing very well. So he sent for me on different occasions. Then he empowered me. He said I should look even beyond DLS. And so that have really given me the hope about future. So working in DLS, and I rose to become a team manager and all those things. Then it dawned on me that I'm now a banker. So I want to be a banker now. I've succeeded. So I started looking for that head teacher to tell him that I'm a banker. But I couldn't get him. And so 2004, I started the ministry. The ministry has now grown. And we have branches even outside the country. No matter how small, I'm the presiding bishop now. So the second bishop has also been fulfilled. Then the bigger one is being the president of Ghana. I know if I meet that man, it's not going to be easy for me. But the good news is that 4 years ago there was networking of both academia and industry. They were looking for a potential person that have a great vision, ambitions, potentials to lead the country beyond this NDC and MPP mantra. Because the challenges we face in Ghana is NDC and MPP, which most of us don't know.
Oh.
They have indoctrinated the mindset of Ghanaians. And so we're looking at that. We're working underground to see how best we can start some form of public education, social orientation, not to attack political leaders, but really is going to be a wake-up call for Ghanaian youths. And we've been doing that for almost 5 years now. And if by the grace of God, next year, that's 2024, I'll be contesting the presidential election as an independent presidential candidate. And so the third issue till now, I don't think what is going through your mind. We are aware that NDC wins and PP wins. But I don't care what you are thinking. What I'm much concerned about is my vision. And I'll still continue to pursue that. And definitely in politics too, there is nothing like losing. Like for instance, we contest, or I run along with maybe Baumia or Cash or John Mahama. Anyone that wins, because I'm a professional person, I'm an economist, they need my service. So it's not just a political activist that is making noise. So there is no way I'll contest and lose. I might not be declared the final winner, but definitely I become the asset of this nation. And that will have projected you and put you at a place that you'll never regret in life. Maybe out of that, even if you don't win, ECOWAS can come for you. African Union can come for you. UN can come for you. Even Ghanaians can come for you. And so there is nothing like losing in life. It's all about determination. So that I try as much as possible to work very hard. I work as an accountant and even oil inspection company after dealers, Crystal Star Company Limited. All the crude oil that comes into Ghana, we does the inspection. Every crude oil, including even those that we use to produce cooking oils, we does the inspection, and I'm the company accountant. So I had a lot of experience from the industry, being a banking system, and educational system, and industry, before going back to school and being a lecturer at the University Departments of Economics and Development Studies. And so when I was employed at Wisconsin, I just finished my MPhil.
Greg, we'll come back to your employment, your engagement with Wisconsin, but from now, we'll come to the audience. But don't forget that he said there was nothing like losing. There was nothing like losing. So never accept that you are a loser. Because today you are carrying a class from the other end of it. No, there was a story told that these guys from Bram Bram. I want to go to Bram Bram. Not Bram Bram. One of the villages. And the last, if they are 20, he's always the 20th in class. Those days that they used to mention, he's the 20th in class. And his very good friend is always the 19th. So one day, he said his parent told him that, no, now, it is okay, so you have to stop schooling. So he went to his best friend. Alex, my parent says I have to stop school. The Alex said, no, I will agree for you to stop. Oh, she didn't agree. So he will not agree. So please, Never leave. Don't run away. Continue to pursue your dreams. It will come to pass. On that note, where's my... okay, please, we'll take 5 questions first for our speakers. So if you have any question, please raise your card up. Then we'll identify you. You just introduce yourself. Please, you are straight, so let's ask. If you will not ask, I will mention your name. Then you have a question. Okay. Go ahead.
How were you able to cope going back to school after spending this 2 years break? Because I'm sure maybe all your mates were now your seniors or probably even out of school. How were you able to cope with that?
Okay, so when I was speaking, I mentioned that we have to be determined. Now, coping with it, it is you. You should put yourself first. So I put myself first, my vision first. Is it about the people or what people are going to say? Because you should bear in mind that whatever you will do in life, people will talk. My best friend was even teasing me. Like, she was at loggerheads with me because she was in school and I was not. She never knew I would rise to be like, now you switch on your TV, I'm here. Wherever you go, my name is there. You see, Bandy, she would come close because of how she treated me. So you should know the value of yourself so that you fight through it. You see, you will cry. Me, I wept. I can cry, but I won't let you see me cry. Okay, I will never allow anyone to see me cry. But I will cry in my closet, and then I can see that a lot of people are not even right. You see, when you are at home for 2 years, in fact, people will say that you have become there's a word I want to use. Yes, I'll use it. You see, and it didn't happen, that didn't happen to me because I was consistently in my book. I bought books, so I knew I wanted to do general art. So I bought literature books and I was reading them. If I should ask any of you what book you are currently reading, I am sure that we wouldn't even get answers. But you see, the reason they say Africans, I don't like books, you have to read because everything is in the book. Now you have books, and every book you need, you have the soft copy online. You can read them. So I was reading to make myself useful. So in case I'm not able to go back to school, I will be able to do something with what I have learned. So I was very sharp, very, very sharp. And when you meet me, I wasn't doing a lot of friends. No, I don't do a lot of friends. I keep the smaller circles and good connections. Okay, so I wasn't doing, I'm going to visit my family, because at that point in time, there was the focus. And the focus was to be a broadcaster. And to God be the glory, multiple award winners, about 7 awards. Yeah. So,
Yes.
Please, my name is Abdul. Please, my question is, now, it's very important for both of us to seek education. And now, if you observe in Ghana now, even if you are qualified for a job, I don't think, if you don't have anybody top there who will help you to get a job, with your certificate and your qualification, there is nothing for you to get a job. So I don't know how you do talk about that. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, let's take 5.
Okay, thank you. My name is Elisha. Please, I want to ask my analyst. I want to find out from each one of them
did you ever feel in business, in exams, in any of the projects you decided to do while you were at tech? Did you ever fail in any of them? If you did, how did you come out facing it and winning it again? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel. My question is, the period between getting an opportunity and you not having anything at all, what do you do, or what do I do within those periods? That's my question.
The last one for this one.
Yeah, good afternoon now. My name is Emmanuel Brown. Please, the first question goes to the journalist. Hello. Yeah.
Me?
Yes, please. Yeah, what would you have done as of today if you happen to be in a position whereby your letter is being searched on now, and you get to the office and the secretary to the CEO is now asking you that is the normal thing for a letter to get lost? How will you manage and how will you go about with that? A letter came outside the country, AU, and then that same letter is being sat upon and it doesn't get close to you. So how will you manage that? I have another question to our daddy. You are talking about mentorship. I think we have to also balance it with the issue of both the mentee and the mentor himself. How will you go about if you happen to get in contact with somebody that is mentoring you, but at the same time, the person is looking at, should I say, the other side of your skill or your talent, your potential, and not the lapses or your weak point in order to help you as a mentor? So how do you work with such a person? Because I discovered that it's like the culture of mentorship is quite different. There are diversity. So how do you go about with a mentor that is not like I don't want to use certain words, so let me just pause it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So please, the issue of connection to get a job, failure, and how you manage to look at it, and then frustrations in getting a job, then mentorship. Identification of a mentor is key. So I'll start from Uncle Ken.
Guys, and I'm using guys with no disrespect to them. Listen to this very carefully. You can never be a leader unless you have failed.
You have failed.
And I'm big into mentorship and training. And some years ago, I went to the leadership training with Jackson's America. And they told us of things. And I said, you can't be a leader unless you fail. And I'm thinking, Jesus, that's true. So I'm telling you for free, you can never ever be a leader unless you have failed. And you are going to have successes. Fail, some success. Fail, some success. Fail for some success. But you can never be a leader unless you fail. Number two, there are no jobs. Take that out of your mind. Nobody will give you a job. In my time, you try to finish school and you're looking to work for either most people were looking to work for a multinational or go to the public sector. And that model was what was happening all over the world. So multinational, Mobil, Shell, Barclays, Stanchart, whatever. Those days are over. When you go to school, that's what the education is important. Those days are important. Anybody who tells you that education is not important doesn't know what they're talking about. But think entrepreneurship, think business, think how am I going to disrupt the supply chain? What do I do? I'm a broadcaster. I'm into broadcast. What do I do? The Cocoa Center. What do I do? Think business. That is the only way you're going to get satisfaction. That is the only way you create value for yourselves and your family. Forget about looking at jobs. And I wish somebody had told me this. I spent my whole time in jobs and think they don't like me. Why should they like you? Why should they like you? I mean, come on. Why should they like you? And I'm thinking, oh, these people, when I go to job, I'm depressed. Oh, these people, why should they care about you? Think business. And you're young. There's no business model you are thinking of that is not been done before. And if you provide a service or a product that creates value, people pay money for it. As for failure, every day embrace failure. Even at my age, and I'm 62 years old, maybe I say, oh, let me feel so more. The only way you learn is by failing. And if I'm not failing, I'm saying I'm not trying hard enough. Fail, 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 success. Fail, fail, fail. Because some of you will come out of this thing and say, you know, yeah, look at all over the world. It's also in reality, it's different. The reality is failure, failure, failure. The number of times she sat at reception, every day she went, she failed. But you are lucky because it's there. I mean, you don't have to sweat. You know, it's there. Go online. I want to be able to do a business which makes a camera lens. I mean, it's there. Try it. It didn't work. Try it another way. It didn't work. Because all over the world, that's what people are doing. There are no jobs. And if you want to get a job because you know somebody, go out there and network. Don't sit in your room and say, "Do not like me." Come to things like this. Talk to, you see, the person next to you, make sure you know them as well as you know their power. Because you don't know who might need them. Network. And we said something about it. It was the last thing that I mentioned.
Mentors.
So what are you going to do different? So you took the first mentor, it didn't work. What do you do?
You change.
And you do the second one, it didn't work. What do you do?
Change.
You see, that's what we said. You know, I'm glad that the alphabet has been 26 letters. Is it 26? 27. 27. If plan A doesn't work, what do you do? If plan B doesn't work, what do you do? And if plan C doesn't work, what do you do? Go back to A. And you know, this what I'm telling you, it's not English. This is how it works. And everybody around the world is doing the same thing. When I was growing up, if you find a book, you go to the library and hide it. Yeah, because it's like no anybody else will. It's all going on everybody's phone. Why are you sweating? But I'm not, in a lot of ways, I'm encouraging you. You haven't done anything wrong. All I'm saying is that open your mind and listen and learn. What's all around you? That's what I'm saying.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so with regards to the failure is part of life, as Chief Thompson had also mentioned. There is no way you're going to make it if you don't fail. Failure is part of it. It is the time you regroup, you restructure, you plan, and now you come strong. Because when you don't fail, you wouldn't know how to pick up the pieces. When you fail, you now sit to do you go to the drawing board, do your mathematics. Where did I go wrong? What did I do? What can I do different? So you always have to go back. There should be a working plan for you. So if this doesn't work, go back to the drawing board write. You should have a diary dedicated for your life. It's not about diary about your boyfriends and girlfriends. This is not the time you have to be thinking about boyfriends and girlfriends. Get your life in shape. The proper boyfriend and girlfriend will come.
Thank you.
Get your life together. Because if you don't put your life together, that's why you fall for anything. And now they'll be beating you in the house and you can't do anything because you did not rise up to the occasion. Failure will come. But when the failure comes, when you want to cry, cry. After crying, dump the tears and work again. And it will work. It wouldn't take a day for you to get it going. It would take years. All the businesses you've seen, it has taken years. For me for instance, when there was a boss, she told me I was the worst reporter. Not because I was the worst reporter. I knew I wasn't the worst. But I realized that she didn't like me. You don't have to like me. But I knew who I was. Now I was the one saving her face. Because amongst all the people she liked, when she goes to management meetings, it was my name that was mentioned because it was my works that was filling the screens. And you see, even at the time, when I go with a per diem that she should sign so I would travel, okay, I chose to do something different. I didn't want to do the everyday journalism. You go and a minister would say that, no. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to make a difference in life. So I started doing rural reporting. I went to places nobody dares going. Villages that people wouldn't go ordinarily. Like, there's no lights, no communication network. They live in mud houses. These are the places I have gone. And these are the ones that has, shot me up into the limelight. It is not about going to report on the ministers. It's important and going to do that. But there is somebody somewhere. You know, I always say that your destiny, your vision is connected to thousands of people. If you forget or if you fail to achieve that purpose, do you know the number of people you are going to disappoint? If you don't take up the mantle and run with it, there's someone in your village whose destiny is tied to you. If you don't forge ahead, if you don't go forward, if you don't work, if you don't sweat and start the business, that person will rot there. You might never know, but it's the reality in life. I started my NGOs through the places I went to. I said I did rural reporting, development journalism. That's what I've been doing. And the places that I went to, I started my business through that. I'm into palm oil. I sell palm oil and all that. And I went to one community. And when I got there,
we'll come back to your business.
Okay.
So
let me go to the next question.
Or we'll go to Reverend to also answer the other questions that
yeah, thank you.
I think life can give you so many things you never get. So in life, you should be prepared for anything. If you are able to condition your mindset like that, then as Chief said, there is no lack. As I said, even if there is lack is what happens when preparations meet up with it. So the preparation can be your career, can be education, can be your skills, can be your talents. And so maybe these days young girls will say, if I grow, I want to marry a rich man. You want to marry a rich man for what purpose? So that he gives you money. But can't you at that time pray that God should bless you so that you work and get money? So instead of depending on somebody, let others rather depend on you. So the problem starts with the mindset, the programming of the mindset. And so when I was in Accra Poly and UCC for first degree, I was the only student that they normally sat from class during the exam times. That's examination hall for non-payment of school fees. I don't have it. I don't have it. So if I write maybe out of 8 subjects in a semester, I can be able to manage to write like 3 or 4. So all the time I'm writing receipts, not because I'm not intelligent, but the money is for me. You see? But that does not deter me. I was really focused, working hard at the back of the failures. And among all my age mates from poly to the first degree, I was the first person to finish PhD. So I've realized that there is no impossibilities. It's all about maintaining focus and being able to have relevant aspiration and dreams. Relevant what? Now, in terms of mentorship, Chief has said it all, but let me just add this to it. In religion or Christianity, they say 5-fold ministries. Apostle is there, prophet is there, evangelist is there, teacher is there, and the pastor is there. God knows why he has not put all these qualities into one person. If you want to go into education, you should have a coach, a mentorship, who is much more interested in education. Now, the reason why a lot of young ones feels they've failed in life is that they were not considering what they want to achieve in life in selecting their life partners.